Welcome back to Run the Atlas. Today I'm talking about Big Bear, California. This is the Alpine Escape in Southern California, roughly 100 miles east of Los Angeles. And it feels like an entirely different state. So it makes a great weekend escape. And I'm gonna tell you the things that you need to know before visiting here in spring and summer. I just returned from a trip to Big Bear and I'm gonna link the vlog up here. So check that out, but I'm gonna summarize some of the things that I learned from visiting Big Bear during this season. Before we begin, make sure to like and subscribe down below for many more travel videos just like this one. So getting to Big Bear, if you're driving in from Los Angeles, it will roughly take you about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours to get here. From San Diego, it took us about 3.5 hours to get here. The largest part of the drive was the actual mountain part. It's roughly 29 miles and there's lots of windy switchbacks. You'll also see different signs and different turnoff points to take in the views, and you'll see the clouds settling down below you and you'll feel just how high up you are. So once you get here, the weather can be quite changeable. However, between June and September, it's the sunniest season. A lot of times it'll be in the high 70s and the 80s, but at nighttime it can get windy and also foggy. And the temperatures can drop between the high 30s and low 40s. Make sure you bring lots of layers while you're here. Now the lake is a man-made lake. It's made via a dam. We found that the lake was very cold and also windy. So it's not quite the kind of lake that you want to jump in and swim, although you can do that, of course. Note that swimming is permitted in summer, but there are no lifeguards. And all of the lake activities are very plentiful here. You'll see people just parking off the side of the road, going fishing, canoeing, kayaking, paddle boarding, boating, you name it. And there's tons of rental places. We recommend checking out Goldsmiths. We rented bikes and we took the Alpine Pedal Path, which is this extremely scenic path that goes along the lake. I recommend that path because it's super accessible and easy. If you're taking a Pedigo bike with an e-bike, it turbocharges you through the path. You feel like you can really move even despite the high elevation. So Big Bear Lake area does have quite a bit of creature comforts. So even if you didn't bring the clothes that you were supposed to bring or the sporting goods, you'll be able to find it here. They also have a Vons that is well stocked with everything you might need. They also have a hospital here up in Big Bear, so if anything happens, you don't need to go all the way down the mountain. We noticed that food could be quite pricey if you go to the restaurants here. Something you could do as an alternative is go to the supermarket, buy some food, and you can go to some of the grills. There's lots of barbecue grills. Make your own dinner, have a campfire, and you might be able to save some money. In terms of lodging, it really varies. There's a lot of vintage style cabins that are super fun, but they're very bare bones, and you'll be paying a resort fee a lot of times on top of your rate. So be prepared for that. One of the cabins we stayed at, you could almost feel the springs in the mattress. So they really vary in quality. We also stayed at one called the Noon Lodge, which was fully stocked with everything you might need for your trip. I'm talking the kitchen had all of the gear you need. You'd walk outside, they had plenty of rental equipment that you could use during your stay. And it was much more of a comfortable stay for larger groups or families. So we recommend that. There's also some other options that are right within walking distance to the Big Bear Village that we recommend. Some of the cabins here are quite stylish. You'll even see kind of like a Nordic theme and some of the beautiful A-frame homes here. And they're right on the lake, so they're super accessible. The main method of transportation here in Big Bear is gonna be your own private car. However, if you are looking for an alternative to your private car, they do have a trolley here in Big Bear. And we saw it running throughout the village. It stops at multiple different locations. They have 3 different lines. They run in 30-minute intervals, which is great. So if you want to leave the driving up to the experts during your time off, check out the trolley. So the lake is quite scenic and there's a number of places where you can get an amazing viewpoint of the lake. I'd love to know your favorites, so comment below, but 3 of my favorite places to capture the views include the Boulder Bay Park. You can see the giant boulders right within the lake and it's really cool. The next is the Big Bear Marina. And you'll see a lot of boats in the marina. You'll really get those panoramic views here. The last one is the Stanfield Marsh. They have a beautiful boardwalk here that goes straight into the lake. It's a great place to take your family, and you'll see water on all sides. you will not be bored if you come to Big Bear. There's everything from Oktoberfest in September. They have one of the largest Oktoberfests that we've ever seen. In the Alpine Village, the village, very much a throwback to Germany. You'll see half-timbered houses, and they really have an Oktoberfest type theme going on with the architecture throughout the year, which is really cool. They do have a brewery here called the Big Bear Lake Brewing Company, and they brew their own beer. This is a really fun place to come with your family or your friends and enjoy a beer above 5,000 feet high. Some of the activities that you can check out during the spring and summer season include zip lining, the alpine luge, bowling, camping, and bird watching. And we even saw a baby bald eagle. Ooh. One of the things that surprised us the most is the amazing variation of cuisine in Big Bear Lake. You would think that they would just have your basics, but no, they have literally every type of cuisine here. They have Himalayan food, Thai food, pub food, pizza. They have an old German deli. It's really quite impressive, so be sure to check those out and plan to eat something a little bit out of the usual while you're up here in Big Bear. So there you have it. We loved our trip to Big Bear. It's a great place to really restore and refresh, and it feels like an entire world away from the city. You're surrounded by alpine trees, fresh mountain air, and bird life and wildlife that you normally wouldn't see in Southern California. It's such a retreat, and we hope that you get a chance to visit very soon. If you're from Big Bear or you've lived here and have some tips for us, comment below. We'd love to know about it. And be sure to like and subscribe for many more travel videos.